After you complete the textbook chapter, you are going to want to move on to the activities that you are graded on. The first thing that you are going to do is training. Training and testing have the same exercises, and when you go into training, it's going to ask you to perform specific tasks. And it's not going to let you move on until you perform it correctly. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And there are 3 different modes for training exercises. There's observe, where you watch the task, there's practice, and there is apply. Most of the time, it's going to take you directly into apply. And that is where I would recommend that you start. Try to do the task correctly. If it's correct, you'll know because it'll tell you and it'll move on. So I'll show you what that looks like. Apply the percentage number format with no decimal places to the range C4 through C15. So I'm going to select C4 through C15, and they want the percentage number format. All right, so it says, yay, I completed the task. It's moving me on to the next one. Now, if you get the task wrong, okay, and here I'm going to go back into apply. If you get the task wrong, you cannot progress forward. So at that point, I would either do observe or practice, okay, because you have to see the correct steps in order to use them. Okay, so I would always start in apply. If you get it wrong, go to observe or practice. And the difference is observe, you watch. Practice, you actually have to do it along with the steps they're showing you. So here it's asking, change the page orientation of the current worksheet to landscape. So I'm going to try to botch this. All right, I'm going to select portrait instead of landscape. Incorrect, try again. All right, so at this point, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do, so I'm going to go to observe. And I'm going to play. So I kind of watch along. Basically, I would watch until I figure out what I did wrong. Okay, so now I know what I did wrong. So I'm going to go back into apply. And I'm going to go to page layout, orientation, and now I'm going to choose landscape. And it's going to let me proceed forward. Okay, so start and apply. If you get it wrong, either go into practice or observe and figure out what you did wrong, go back into apply and try it again. Okay, and so I'm going to submit. You've not completed all the tasks in this training. Do you want to submit? I'm going to say, oh, yeah, okay. So I did horrible because I'm not done. I'm going to go ahead and close. Let's see. So it's basically not going to let me submit this assignment until I'm done. So for the training, you are always going to end up with 100%. So if I go back in here it does remember where I was at, and it should be showing me the third step in the process because that's the one that I did not complete. So it takes me directly to task 3. Okay, so for training, you are going to have to do all of the tasks, and at the very end, you'll be able to submit it. So everybody should get 100% on the training exercises. The testing exercises are different. For the testing exercises, it's like the whole thing is in apply mode. And they're basically the same as the training exercises. There is a time limit on this, okay? And you'll get 3 chances. If you get something wrong, you'll get 3 chances to redo that one task before it moves you to the next one. If you don't like your score at the end, you can retake the testing exercise 3 times. Okay, so it says retakes allowed are 3. I've got 2 left after this one. And then it also is warning that you cannot stop this and restart it. Okay, so like the training, you are allowed to stop and then you could restart and go back to the step you were on. This does not let you do that. So it's kind of an all or nothing thing. The tasks are pretty much the same as the training tasks. So I don't think anybody is going to have a problem with this. So if I hit start, you'll see it's the exact same number of tasks. Okay, and they're just kind of shuffled into a different order. Okay, and then you'll see that it is showing a little time limit. All right, so they want a formula in C5 that divides the value in B5 by the value in B15. All right. So we're going to enter a formula into C5. So we'll start it with an equal sign, divides the value in B5 by the value in B15. Now they want absolute cell referencing. So I'm going to do a slash. Here's the value in B15. And I'm going to press F4. Print range B3 through D11. So I'm going to highlight the range. File, where's print? And I want to print my selection. Okay, so you can kind of see how this works. And once you hit submit, you're done with that attempt. So you are probably going to want to continue on through this and finish. So I'm going to pause this while I go through this, and I'll come back at the end. All right, so I'm on the very last task. I'm pretty sure I've done all of them right, and this is an actually easy task, but I'm going to do it wrong so you can see how the scores are brought forward into Moodle, because it's a percentage that is brought forward. So change the value of 13 to 33 in D9. So if I go to D9, I see 13 and they want 33, but I'm purposefully going to do this in the wrong cell. Okay, so I could retry it, or I can just go to the next. I'm going to go to the next task because I want this to be wrong. Okay, and now I'm going to submit. Okay. So you can see that I did get one wrong, the one that I purposefully got wrong at the end. And my percentage is 97%. So it is that percentage that gets brought into Moodle. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close this. And obviously, if you guys want a copy of these reports, you can print them. And now I'm going to exit out of SAM and Cengage, and I'm back in Moodle. So I'm going to come up here. I'm still logged in as the test student, and I'm going to look at my grades. Okay, and so it rounded up, even though I got one wrong, it still gave me 15 on that. And you can see what it did on the training because I only did like 2 exercises. So I only completed 6%, so I got 1 point. Okay, so how this works with Cengage is it brings the percentage forward, okay? And that percentage is then applied to the total points. And you may luck out like I did here where it ends up rounding it up, or you may see a much lower score depending on what your percentage is. For the testing exercises, you can redo them 3 times to increase your score.